Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I know what that sound means. Time in the paddock F1. Greeny and the cheese. Round 12 already for the F1 2025 calendar. We are halfway home. And we're back to where it all began on that May day in 1950 on the old World War II airfield. That's right, we're back at iconic Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. We're on the borders of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, where they got British shoe industry and the film industry. That's what you got up there. But they also got Doc Martens. We filmed James Bond and Star Wars around there too, so.
Yes.
There. But this ain't no travel show. This is an F1 show, and of course, Silverstone. 3.66 miles in its current format, 18 corners, 2 DRS zones. You give it the full beans for 77% of your lapping. Oh man, did we get a race? Mixed conditions, heavy rain tires, back to slicks, back to rain tires, back to slicks. It was insane. Safety cars, penalties, but through it all, Lando takes his first win at the home Grand Prix. Piastri takes second, and after 239 starts, the Hulk finally gets on his first F1 podium to round it out. Lots to unpack after this one. We are caffeinated. We are medicated. Greeny, good day, sir.
Good day, cheese. And it is just an epic event anytime you go to Silverstone. And then you have the rain, and then you have you have like a double epic situation here with, first of all, congratulations to Lando Norris and congratulations to Nico Hulkenberg. What a thunder stealer, I would say, here from Nico Hulkenberg, who definitely takes away some of the luster and some of the magic from Lando Norris's first ever home win here at Silverstone at the British Grand Prix. And then you got, of course, Nico Hulkenberg's first ever win, period, after 268 races, 263, whatever the number was. Very Sunny Hayes-esque. Was that?
239 Grand Prix.
239 Grand Prix. Very, like I said, Sunny Hayes-esque here. Very Hollywood-esque weekend all around. And all kinds of storylines converging. It was an absolute Hollywood beginning and Hollywood ending. You had the rain, you had spin-outs. Every single rookie except for one crashed out of the race and DNF'd. How about that? We are caffeinated. We are medicated. How the heck? First of all, we didn't even mention Oscar Piastri yet and his disaster of a day.
Yeah.
Clearly had an opportunity to win. Clearly took over Max Verstappen early. Overtook him early in the race. No looking back.
Mm-hmm.
And then a kerfuffle, as it may seem. What happened to Oscar? How did Lando win this? How did Max Verstappen lose this?
Well, Max lost it just by the setup that Red Bull went with for the car for the weekend, which was low wing, high speed, which in the dry, they were quick all weekend long. But when you need a little bit more grip, especially in those slippery conditions, the car was not set up for that. It was set up for super high speed. So that's where Red Bull and Max really lost it. I mean, the car was that hard to drive. He bitched at it the whole race, and the guy still brings it home fifth. That's still pretty impressive. Oscar lost it on the penalty, basically. A little harsh from the stewards, probably. I mean, that was kind of naughty what he did. It's kind of borderline, but it's and especially in those conditions with the spray, I think that's why the stewards gave him 10 or 10 seconds. But I mean, I've seen things like that go without any type of penalty. So, is it tough for Oscar? Sure. Things happen. I think it was more the penalty was more the conditions. Probably shouldn't have did what he did, but probably a little too aggressive at it. Punching the gas a little bit, then slamming the brakes to try and get to build heat before the restart, and also to gain ground from the safety car, thinking about when he's going to actually go. Um, but that's where the race was lost. That's where Lando basically won the race. And then Nico, 239 starts, finally gets on his first podium. That's also Sauber's first podium as a team since 2012. So how about that as well? It's been a long damn time since Sauber was up on the podium. He went from 19th to 3rd. Yes, it did have something to do with the conditions and the madness out there for sure. But that's what happens in the brain sometimes. I mean, we've seen these things happen before with, Ocon a few years back there getting the win at Hungary when it was sloppery, mixed conditions too. So things happen, but that's my takes on the whole weekend. And 500,000 people showing up. How about that?
I'm sorry, there was, definitely a lot of people showing up for this one. Packed house all weekend. Yeah, 500,000, I guess, entrants. Could have been the same people like over and over again over 3 days, but it was 500,000 entrants over the 3 days. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some triplicates. The weather did not hold, as you mentioned, but yeah, it just turned out to be a very Hollywood-esque, questionable-esque. You can look back at this race and question a lot of things that the stewards made decisions on. You can question a lot of things that teams made decisions on, especially with the tires. You can go back and question a lot of things.
Wheatley and Sauber were freaking on it, dude. That's why Nico's also finished there. They were on the right tire at the right exact time, like every single time. Like, you can see that team has completely changed since they brought in Wheatley. He brings all his experience in from Red Bull, and Benatti there from Ferrari, and the team is coming to completely come together. They're almost like Apex GP, almost in a sense. Dropping some movie which we will both have our review on later for you in the news, but definitely like that kind of like aspect, the team coming together like really recently and putting these finishes on the board.
Oh, this was Hollywood, baby. And with you could have made a movie about Lando Norris. If you were going to make a movie about Lando Norris, this could potentially have been the either the climax of the movie or the end of the movie here for Lando. You could equally say the same thing about Nico Hulkenberg. If you made a movie about Nico, this could have been this could have been the ending. This could have been the grand finale of a Nico Hulkenberg story as well, because doubtful he is going to have the opportunity again. That was a lot of luck, especially coming from 19th, especially everything he's been through over the last bunch of years. So great for him, great for Lando Norris. Any final thoughts on this week's 2025 75th anniversary of the British Grand Prix?
Well, Lando was let's talk a little bit of Lando getting the win. I think he's now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's only
3 points?
8 points back of Oscar now for the driver's title. So that is fully on.
8 points. 234 to 226 is the updated. We're coming to you guys very shortly after the race ending here. So we're getting updated numbers as we speak. Yeah, that is correct. 8 points, and Max Verstappen definitely taking a little step back after this weekend. George Russell not looking great. I'm sure we'll get to all these guys in a little bit. But of course, first, before we get to any of that, I have to strap on my helmet. I have to take a lap around the track, just like these guys take a lap around the track. I might be spinning in circles as well, pirouetting down the back straight here, because it is Quizmaster's Cockpit. You got 3 questions. I got who knows how many answers. I don't even know if I should be bringing up my my music over here or not, but we'll see.
We're gonna test your knowledge today, son. We're gonna test your knowledge today. Question number 1, sir. Are you ready?
Yes. Is that the correct answer for question number 1?
That's not the correct answer for question
That is
number
not
1.
the question.
Question number 1, sir. Who has the most wins at the British Grand Prix? This is the cupcake.
Oh, that's the cupcake. That's Lewis Hamilton with, I believe, 9.
That is correct.
That was 9. Yes. All right. We're straight out the gate with a cupcake. A gimme. I almost have to. I don't want to cue up the music yet because I'm sure you'll come out with a toughie this time. So go for it.
In the inaugural Formula One race at Silverstone in 1950, what constructor won that race?
That was Alfa Romeo, and that was Giuseppe Farina.
That is correct. Oh, the music
nailed
is
those two. Nailed those two.
I'll give you that suspense. Let's build it up a little bit here.
Go for like the $1 million yet again. And now you're gonna throw a toughie at me. I know it. As you should. There's no gimmies here.
Lando Norris, British driver, won today's race. But who was the first British driver to win the British Grand Prix?
It had to be in the 50s. The only British driver I could think of that would have won it in the 50s would be Sterling Moss. Would that be correct? That is my final answer.
Fucking A. That is correct.
Oh,
Fucking
yes!
In 1955, he won that shit
55.
in a Mercedes.
I don't know if I wouldn't have got the year. I wouldn't have got the year if you
Very well. I did not think
me.
you were. I did not think you were getting that shit. Wow.
There you go. Cupcake to start it. I was studying my Nigel Mansell history early this morning because I thought I would get a Nigel Mansell question, to be honest. But
Well, I had a feeling that's where you would be looking too. So
that's what I'd be looking
to.
to. When I zig, you zag. The teacher is always trying to trip me up. It's usually the stuff that I study the most that you don't ask the questions about. But that is my history of education through the education system, as whatever I studied.
But as the creed on this program many moons ago, how you perform in the cockpit is what we do. And I did not have winners first. I thought you were failing. So that will take us right into winners. That's another 3-question hot lap again from you, too. You were freaking on fire this year.
The season, it's been a different season.
Fuego, sir. Lewis Hamilton, great drive for Lewis, 4th place. Ferrari was kind of quick all weekend. Struggled a little bit in the rain there a bit, but still 4th place. Solid finish. Only Ferrari in the points as well, so well done, sir. By Lewis. Fernando Alonso. You know what? Just give it to Aston Martin altogether. You know, we trashed Lance Stroll enough on this program, so he actually
give credit where credit is due.
Gosh darn well. You got to give him credit's due, especially in those conditions out there today. 7th and 9th for Aston, which has been kind of an absolute disaster all season. So pulling it together at the home race, building a little bit of momentum recently, especially with Fernando. So we'll see if that can keep building. But give credit where credit is due. They've been stinking all year and double top 10. So give it up for Aston. Those will be my winners.
Yeah, you got to give it up for Aston for double top 10. That does not happen very often, especially I think it's definitely the first time Is that the first time this season they've had double points? Probably.
Absolutely. They've been an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, so you got to give it up. You got to give credit where credit is due. Like I said, we trashed Lance Stroll. And Fernando Alonso has been getting a little bit of a beating this year as well. I don't know if it's him or the car, but
I think it's more the car. But
Lance Stroll beating out Fernando Alonso. Rare he beats his teammate in anything. So got to give it up for him where credit is due. Listen, you got to give it up for Pierre Gasly coming in 6th place, finishing really not that far behind Max Verstappen. And Verstappen had a tough time getting by him. Definitely got by him, I think, right at the end there, 51 or lap 52. Max got by Pierre Gasly. But Pierre didn't make it easy. And the way Alpine's been this year, you figure Max would just dominate him, especially when the track started drying up and you started getting better conditions and when teams started switching to those, hard and medium tires. So got to give it up for Pierre. He didn't finish 5th like he could have, but it ain't easy holding off Max Verstappen. That's for damn sure. And how can you not give it up for George Russell, the first guy into the pits to change up his tires, goes on the hard, comes out, and he's just spinning in circles out there. You think he's toast. You think Mercedes is done. Kimi's already done. You think Mercedes is going to get no points. Yeah, they got 1 point, but 1 point's better than no points for sure. And he finished the race strong, came on strong at the end there. Yeah, I would have loved to seen Ollie Behrman pass him there towards the end, which I was praying on, standing on the freaking couch for. We'll get to that in a few minutes there. That didn't happen. But got to give it up for George Russell making that comeback on the last 10 laps there and putting himself in, I guess, the point. Can't really pluralize it. And those are my winners, sir. Which brings us into the losers.
Giving it to Ollie Behrman. Again this weekend with the red flag violation in practice. Another 10-place grid penalty. Come the frick on. Would have been in the points for sure if he didn't do that again. That is bad. That is bad. I don't know what the hell you're doing. If the red flag gets out there, you got to fucking slow down. Let's be real. I mean, you could probably give him a slap for that, to be honest, for the second one. Not one. That's 2. That's freaking embarrassing. 10-place grid penalty again. Would have been guaranteed points for Haas. Guaranteed points. Disaster. My other loser is going to be Colapinto. Probably could have gave him the slap too, to be honest. Absolute disaster weekend. You're on the cusp of losing your job, and you crash out in quali. Right out of the gate, you crash it out. This is going to probably be your last race probably for Alpine. So, absolute disaster for Colapinto. Those will be my losers.
Yeah, staying on the rookie train there, you got to give it up to both Racing Bulls, and by give it up, I mean give it down to both these guys because, Isaac Hadjar definitely has been probably Rookie of the Year so far, but not today. Liam Lawson showed he cannot race in the rain either, and
he got wrecked by he got trashed by Ocon on the first lap. He didn't do anything wrong there.
Yeah, but still, overall, Liam Lawson did not have a good weekend after having a great weekend last weekend. Couldn't even get anywhere through quali, so he had a rough one. I don't know what happened there. But Racing Bull started looking up, and now just a little bit of bad luck and a little bit of a rough weekend overall from the Racing Bulls. I'm not just going to chalk it up just to bad luck. They did not have they just didn't look right all weekend.
They looked pretty good early in the weekend. They looked good through Friday. Then when quali came, they were nowhere to be
Saturday,
found.
Yeah, spit the bit, as you like to say, sir.
And absolutely.
Listen, Yuki Tsunoda, are you kidding me? The only driver again to get lapped.
Yeah.
Only driver on the field to get lapped. Obviously, he finished the race. Good for you. But I just don't know what's going on here with Yuki.
Had another penalty too, didn't he?
Another penalty. And getting lapped. I mean, Charles Leclerc almost got lapped as well. Could beat him up a little bit too. A little bit of bad luck there for Leclerc as well. But Yuki Tsunoda, come on, man.
Red Bull are missing Perez right now.
They're dearly missing Sergio Perez, and I do not think I would have said that last year. And I don't know if it's the curse of the second seat or Max Verstappen's just an absolute just king of the world
Max Verstappen
beast.
Is a beast.
And just taking this mediocre car for the last couple seasons and just making it work. But I don't know. But of course, it brings us to the...
I need to slap my goddamn for that.
Slap of the week, sir. If you're going to take this one, I'm going to take this one. Because
it's all you, son.
You know my feelings here. And this is for our U.S. fans. I know we have fans all around the world, and we appreciate everyone listening. And I'm sure the 75th anniversary of Formula One. Yes, it was May where the first British Grand Prix was held, but the British Grand Prix is the inaugural race. It is like the pinnacle of the Formula One season, and it is really, as it originally kicked off 75 years ago, Formula One. You have it here. You have the Formula One movie coming out last week. You have the United States being introduced to a sport which many people didn't know about, with a huge American star in Brad Pitt, a huge global movie star in Brad Pitt. And you have everything going for it. And you don't even put it on ESPN, you put it on ESPN2. You might as well put it on the Ocho, okay? Because I don't know what you were thinking. That's an ABC show. And I was put on ABC thinking, all right, maybe they have some other programming on. They do not. They did not have another program on this morning, at least from what I saw. It's not like we had Wimbledon on there or something. You just had local news on there this morning. So...
They don't have. Oh yeah, they do have it. Actually, they do have Wimbledon, but they didn't put that on there.
But a big miss. How do you put that on this weekend, the pinnacle event of the season? I would say outside of Monaco, this is probably the biggest race you're going to get globally, especially for a U.S. market. It's the The F1 movie is kind of based around...
It's the first race after the F1 movie.
It's the first race after the F1 movie, and it was set up perfectly. The movie sets up for you to watch the movie and then go home and watch the British Grand Prix that weekend. They set it up perfectly for you, and then you bury it on television. There's just a bad job. I'm sure it was premium over in Europe for those listening, over in South America for those who listen, and from all around the world. I'm sure it was on primo channels, because this is an epic event, especially with the movie's 75th anniversary. They just blew it. Slap yourself, ABC. You really blew an opportunity here, and an opportunity that may not come around again. Probably never will.
So you're saying the mouse should slap himself in the face?
Mickey, get your big old glove out and slap yourself.
Well, they do on ABC. Maybe you should have Minnie come over there and give him a good hard slap to the face, too.
He might like that. He might enjoy that one. But I don't want to get into any what goes on behind the closed doors of the House of the Mouse there.
The Mouse House? The House of Mouse?
I don't want to get. But I digress as we continue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. You know what that sound means? The best goddamn sound of the week. We take that fantasy ride to that fantasy island of Great, where the beer flows like wine and the wine flows like beer. And the cannabis... Oh, yes, my friends. Look at it out there. Look at it. Green and luscious. It's like corn. Just goes on as far as the eyes can see. Take a little whiff. That air smells. Yes. Take a little walk to the top of the hill. The casino at the top. Just like we're in Monaco. Tickets in hand, are we cashing in, or are we checking out? I am checking out.
You are checking out. I got teased, man. I had the tease. If I was betting big time money, I would have not have been a happy camper today. You had Max Verstappen with the win. I scoffed at that one. I did not think Max was going to have a great day on the track today. He's never really had a great day at the track here at Silverstone. So you had Lewis Hamilton with the win with, plus 750. Lewis for the win. The guy's won here more times than anyone else. I think on any track. Podiums on more times than anyone else on any track. Let's go. All right. It's worth a go at plus 750, but that didn't win. You went 3 different trifectas, all with Max in first. That did not happen. You had a lot of faith in Lewis Hamilton today. He did come in fourth. So you got to give it up for that, but you still lost. You had 5 bets at 50 across, so you lost 250. I lost all 4 of my bets as well, but mine were a little bit closer, it felt at times. I had that Piastri Norris Verstappen plus 800 in the trifecta. I had that for a minute. We were lined up for a minute for Piastri Norris Verstappen finish, but blew that one. I had Ollie Bearman finishing top 10 at plus 500. Had that rolling for a minute. That came close right to the bitter end. I mean, we were by lap 50. I was still in that one. That would have been a big win for me. That didn't happen. Oscar Piastri, fastest lap, plus 200. So close with that one. That didn't happen. And something I had no shot at was Mercedes double top 6, only plus 175. That was my, I guess, across the line, most sure bet of the day, which definitely was trashed very, very early on. So 9 bets this week, 0 for 9 between the two of us. 9 different bets, as we normally have at least one crossover bet, but we had 9 different bets, 0 for 9.
Bad weekend.
It was a rough weekend. Rough weekend at the track, this beautiful summer day weekend, your birthday weekend. Happy birthday to you, sir. And, but not a good one indeed. You are still holding on to a lead, but a little bit slimmer as I catch up by another 50 greenie bucks. So I'm only down by about 270 greenie bucks now as I dip right around that 3,600 mark, and you are around 3,800. So you're down 700 greenie bucks on the year. I'm almost down 900 greenie bucks on the year. Not good. Not good halfway through. We got a lot of work to do for the second half of the season. But that's how interesting it's been, because we usually are both, at least one of us is making cash somehow, somewhere. But this year, it is just a double race to the bottom, as it seems. Hopefully the second half will treat us a little better. Let us get into, of course, the most informative part of the week. And that is, sir, In the news. What do we got, sir?
I got a little bit here for you. Number 1, Bottas possibly to finish the season at Alpine, as Mercedes seem okay to let him go to finish the season out. Thoughts on that? That might not be a damn bad idea, since... Well, I'll just take it first before I let you go. Give you my thoughts here for a change. I think it's probably a smart move. I mean, Gasly's been pretty darn good with a rubbish car all year. And Alpine's second seat, it's almost like turning into like a Red Bull situation when you got one guy who's actually doing something, and then the other seat's an absolute disaster. But, throw somebody in there, you give him a couple races to get himself reacclimated and see what happens. I mean, I don't think it's a bad option.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. How much worse can you do than no points? So you got a guy who's seasoned, you got a guy who can do it, you got a guy who's proven himself, you got a guy who's won races before. He even had some, good races, the last couple years in some pretty crappy cars. That Alfa Romeo a couple years ago, he definitely had some moments there driving that one. So, I mean, it's been a while since Mercedes, but at the same time, you got to put a professional driver in there. Also, you want to see, as far as testing purposes and vehicle purposes from the mechanical standpoint, getting better numbers and better feedback, right? Getting more reliable feedback. obviously today proved itself that you can't even get the guy on the freaking track barely, and so you really got nothing really to lose. You just need data, and you just need a driver in there to get data, and Bottas is the guy.
Yeah, I guess in a bit, but at this point, I don't know how much really data you really need. How much are you really gonna be investing for the second half of the year where that car is, with the new regs coming next year too. So, but just to put somebody in there that might actually get some points for the team, put two cars in the points, I think it's definitely a better option than what they've been going to. I mean, where else are you going? You going back to Duhan again or something? Like you saw how that did the first part of the season. That was an absolute mess. So I don't know. I think you got to come up with something. News story number 2. Cadillac Formula One team announces what they call a groundbreaking docuseries they will be putting out, I guess, with starring Keanu Reeves. Whatever the hell that means.
No, I think he's going to play the same role he did with he did the Braun movie, right?
With the Braun, yeah.
Docuseries there.
Play the host of the beginning of a new Formula One team.
He did a good job. I think he did a good job with that. I think he did a great job with that.
Absolutely. There's not many things Keanu touches that don't go in the right direction. He's also a racing driver. I mean, he does race cars, so it's definitely up his speed. I'll check it out for sure. Just, like most of the things that are Formula One, that I give it a shot.
That's Bill S. Preston Esquire.
It's freaking the Baba Yaga, bro.
Man can do anything.
He's the fucking boogeyman. It's John Wick, dude.
Man can do anything. So
it's the Baba Yaga.
It just makes everything better. So listen, a great storyteller.
He is the one, dude. He is the one.
He is the chosen one. Give me Keanu Reeves all day doing these docuseries until it doesn't work. Just stick with it while it works, and then when it doesn't work, you do something else. But until then, keep it with Keanu the best you can. Pay him what you need to pay him to keep doing these docuseries because he keeps it engaging. He keeps it interesting. Those interviews he does and the sit-down interviews are great because he's coming from this nuanced perspective of almost the American perspective where we didn't grow up with this sport. It's like someone from Europe coming over and trying to follow baseball. So some of the questions in their naivety make for a better, interesting program. I think so. It made that Braun program really excellent. That's all I got to say about that. What else you got?
Brad Pitt drove a 2023 McLaren Formula One car at Coda. He did not reach 200 miles an hour as he was hoping to. But apparently he's been asked to come back to try and hit the 200 mile per hour mark. Your thoughts?
I think Brad Pitt's crazy. I
don't think so. I mean, I'd love to jump in a car and try and go 200 for goddamn sure. I don't know about you.
Well, yeah, but Brad Pitt's not a young man.
Neither are we, sir.
Neither are we, but he's a little bit older than us. So, listen, he tried. That's awesome, and I'm sure he'll try again. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He could buy the damn racetrack, buy the car, and drive it all day. It's Brad freaking Pitt.
Freaking A.
Man wants to drive 200 miles an hour and let the man drive 200 miles an hour. I'm just saying, this is not, Fight Club Brad Pitt we're talking about here. All right. Any other stories, sir? Before we wrap this week up.
Final one for the week. We have now both seen it. What you think of the movie, son?
As I told you after I saw the F1 movie, visually it's fantastic. I think the Sonny Hayes character, it's trying to be legendary. I think it does have that vibe of like Hollywood nostalgia of the Sonny Hayes character, as Brad Pitt does do a great job. The story was less of a story; it was more of just an action. I don't think it accurately took you through a Formula One weekend. Obviously, there was plenty of Hollywood there, but there was plenty of Hollywood this weekend. See, sometimes you can't script this stuff. Sometimes you can't make it up, and sometimes when it feels Hollywood, it could not be Hollywood for sure. I do like how they put the 11th team on the grid there and kept all the other teams on. I love how they integrated. I feel the integration of Formula One, the sport within the movie, I thought was fantastic. That's what I thought was good. Now, what I didn't like about the movie, I thought it felt more like just a 2.5 hour commercial for Formula One. I didn't like how they didn't take you through an actual Formula One weekend with practice and qualifying, as that's really, a humongous chunk of the Formula One experience in the 3-day weekend. They really just focused on the races themselves. Didn't even mention a practice or qualifying existed. It was a little bit deceptive in that way. So they really made it all about race day. Obviously, they Hollywooded it up. As you said that earlier, to me, not on the program, that they wanted to go even much further in the Hollywoodization of this movie, but they pumped the brakes there, no metaphor intended.
Lewis, who was involved, the pump said, you got to pump the brakes. It's a little too ridiculous. So it could have been even crazier. I mean, I liked the movie. I thought the story was your underdog, your typical, underdog story. The filming of it was great. Seeing it on the IMAX screen was absolutely brilliant. The visuals are superb. The story a little bit on the cheesier side, maybe a bit. Yeah, but it's fun. It's a fun summer movie blockbuster. Give it to me all day. I could watch that crap another 20 times. Give it to me. Give it to me all day. Give me Sonny Hayes. Let's freaking go. I mean, I used Sonny Hayes in my racing vids, so he's on VW Motorsports, so freaking A. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I do have to say that these
Plan
Sonny
C
Hayes
is for combat, baby. Plan C is for combat. Let's fucking go.
I do have to say that, again, the Sonny Hayes character could be a theatrical classic. We'll see if he stands the test of time or not. Be curious to see. Where are we going next, sir?
Got a bit of a break here. 3 weeks till we head to the Forest of Belgium for Spa, baby. 27th of July, so a 3-week break. Guys can catch their breath for a minute.
Guys can catch their breath for sure. We're going to have a battle coming back as Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris going to fight here down the stretch. 8 points separating them. I'm pumped. Everyone has to be pumped for the second half of this season. If you are not, you have fallen asleep, just like you cannot fall asleep in the IMAX movie theater while watching that Formula One movie. It was pretty hard to fall asleep watching this. Hey guys, check us out. We'll be here every single week during the break with some in the news updates and a little bit of a shorter show, but at least keeping you guys abreast of the news. Say what you got to say, brother.
As always, thanks for checking us out. Hit that subscribe and like if you made it this far, if you don't mind. And as always, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.